to start up the show officially. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Glory of Love. My name is MC Sugar. Like usual, every single Saturday we'll be right here talking about nothing but love and love alone. Earlier on, actually last week on Saturday, I promised you that I'll be bringing Gio and Jackie right back, and yeah, I think I have fulfilled my promise. So it's now up to you to sit down and listen to the extra that they are going to have to give you, because man, I trust these guys and I believe in them so much, because their couple is just something quite different. I've never seen couples that really treat each other like this. Maybe it is me who has never seen, but if you've come across any, then probably you have the chance right there. But of course, before we go any further, before we sink into our discussion room, I gotta let you know that we are right here at Starlight Coffee Lounge and Apartments. Whenever I'm talking about this place, what comes to my head is always food. We're talking about party. And as you're looking at me right now, what you're seeing in the background right here is a setup for a party that is going to be happening right now. Yeah, just in a bit after the show. Yeah, party's going to be happening right here. And the couple of people who have come around to make sure they take advantage of the class. They take advantage of the, you know, the beauty, the silence, you know. It's just such a beautiful place, as you see the setup right now. So when you come in here and you book for a party, call it a birthday party, proposal, a wedding reception, anything extra, what you're going to get here is so much more, because I told you these guys give you a full package, and their full package includes sound, furniture, decoration, ample parking space, both in the basement and across the road as well. Security is all good. What I'm showing you right here, and some of the images that you're seeing in the picture, are exactly part of what I'm talking about right here. So we're not just talking nonsense, but we're talking business right here. So what you're going to do is hit the numbers that are on the screen, book for yourself. There's just a lot right here. Comfort. When you bring your guests in here, trust me, you will never get disappointed. These things of okutwala abantu awantu no swala ngebintu ebibeera bina biswaza. No. Here you're going to get class. So if you are classy, then let class meet class, because when class meets class, what you're going to receive is excellency. Otherwise, nze bampadde daka glass ka wine kakano kendiko mukusipinga ano mpola mpola. As we go to the discussion room, allow me sip a little bit. But of course, for joining the show, if you're watching the show for the first time, this is the Glory of Love. My name is MC Sugar. It is Magic One TV for you. Let's do some cheers one more time. Jackie and Gio back on the show, just like I promised. I can't say how much happy I am to have them right back. You're most welcome again.
Thank you.
I don't know about someone who is watching the show, but I got a lot of comments last Saturday telling me, oh my goodness, they're saying facts. Most especially the statements that Jackie dropped for, that we're trying to teach the women.
Yeah.
Things that women don't want to listen from us as the men. When you tell them, man, love is not about the money, they heard it from Jackie and were like, oh, she got us. How are you doing?
Good.
Good to have you back.
Thank you for having us back. It's
Always,
great to be back.
Anytime. I would wish to have you guys over and over again. Because it looks like the information you have, everything about relationships, you have something new every now and then. So where do we start from? The last thing we're talking about was secrets to happy relationships. And there was so much that you depicted and talked about, pointed here and there. I think one of the last things that you talked about was you, your spouse, and God, that triangle. Yes. It made a lot of sense to me as a person. Yes, and that's where I want us to begin from. Gio, I want you to take in the direction of the children. You and Jackie have a commitment with God. How do you involve the children?
Teach your children in the way that God wants you to raise them. I just want to touch on something.
Okay.
People's opinions are completely useless. Doesn't matter what people think. That's between you and your maker. So with us, we raise our children to know who the Most High is. Very important, so that they understand truth. Because anything else is a lie.
Absolutely.
It's an absolute lie. You're building a bed of roses on illusions.
I get your point.
And that's where the problem is. A lot of people will say there's no God. Okay, how did you show up? Was it the Big Bang Theory? You just appeared out of thin air and you're this person in this S with a big S on your chest. You got a cape. Really? There's a reason for everything.
Okay, we have started from this point because it is really, really very important, and it is something that has confused so many couples. How do I put this relationship in this direction? How do I redirect it? It's even worse when the head, that is the male person in this position of the relationship, is the one that is in the wrong direction, and so it is the girlfriend or the woman is trying to bring him back to the face of God. It's always a lot of hard work, but don't give up. I think that's one thing I should tell you. Don't give up. Keep trying, keep pushing. If he really loves you, one day he's going to submit. Now, I want us to switch up a little bit. Jackie and Gio, there are things I believe that couples should avoid as much as possible, as far as keeping and maintaining their happiness and the healthiness of this relationship is concerned. Probably you would help me cite that, because I believe there are some of those things that you've gone through that you now have like a better idea of saying, oh, I would never say this in the face of my spouse. I would never do such a thing. Or probably it is also an anger management skill that you now practice as much as possible. So we're going to go through that slowly as our time runs. So probably let's begin with Gio this time around.
Firstly, I would say, I would advise, is this directed to men or both people?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Trauma. Deal with all past traumas, because that could really dictate the direction of your relationship. Now, whatever traumas you've been through, traumas produce baggages.
Okay.
And these baggages should be dealt with before your spouse turns up.
Okay.
Or do your best to deal with them as much as possible, because what will happen is, if they show up, because baggages from trauma are very invisible. This person shows up, date time is lovely, courtship is great. My country, we say, new broom sweeps well.
Yeah. Yeah.
As the broom starts to get older and older, things get tested. Its durability really gets tested. And all relationships have to go through tests of time. Now, certain things might bring triggers. Your partner will do things to annoy you. Sometimes they might be stubborn or very defensive and blah, blah, blah. You need to find out why you need to find out why you get triggered on certain things. It could be due to past traumas. Deal with those things. It's for your own benefit. If you don't deal with them, guess what? You and your partner will have to deal with it. And if your trauma baggages are too many, some people get weighed down so much by their spouse's trauma. They're like, you know what, I can't deal with you no more.
Yeah.
I've tried. And what happens? That's where the breakdown and separation starts to kick in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you're not willing to work together, and one tip of working together is a family, I'll say a couple that prays together, stays together. And when you're guided by the Most High God, you more than likely will have methods of resolves that work for both of you. But when you don't, like I said, it's open season. Because guess what? Whether you like it or not, whether you're a believer or not, since there's the Most High, there is the enemy.
Yeah.
And guess what? He comes looking.
So I hope you get the point right there. He has told you the enemy comes with his eyes open and they're about to take you down. Let's hear from Jackie.
Yeah, I mean, I want to really break down trauma a little bit further.
Okay.
So trauma could be, experiences that have caused emotional breakdown, emotional turmoil. It could be, coming from your family background. It could be coming from maybe a toxic relationship, a previous relationship. So issues that you haven't dealt with, that have come from your past, can show up in your marriage, and it's important for you to really talk through them. In fact, that's why you're together. God brings you together to heal. That's another reason why God brings you together. Healing comes from you talking to your husband, talking to your wife, being open, communicating, you know, all of these things help with healing. You know, I know a lot of people say, oh, you know, men don't talk, but talk to your wife.
Yeah.
You know, because that's so important. It's so important because it's part of the healing process. You know, we trust God for each other. That's another thing as well. We signed up for a life of trust. So when you're coming into a marriage relationship, you're trusting God for your husband. You're trusting God for your wife.
Okay.
You know, you're trusting God for your whole family, everything. It's about trust.
Okay.
And you must trust him enough to be able to be open and honest with him, because healing takes place that way.
Okay. This is when I want to ask you, Jackie, just like you said, it's true. There's a percentage of men that do not talk. And some of them do that because they feel insecure. How do you give them the security to feel comfortable enough to open up?
Well, and one thing I do know is men love respect, to be
Yeah.
respected. So if you respect your husband, you show him that, you know, you've accepted him, you love him, he then opens up. It's almost automatic.
Okay.
You know, your husband has to trust you with his heart, just like you need to trust your heart to your husband.
Yeah.
So if he trusts you, automatically he'll open up.
Okay.
So you place, you know, that environment of trust by showing love, you know, speaking to him with words that will lift him up and encourage him and show him respect.
All right, Gio.
Yeah.
I see you burning with something.
Yes. So they say men don't really talk. Here's the thing. The amount of pressure placed on men is phenomenal. So to be a man is not that easy. Obviously, to be a woman, there are challenges. This is the truth of it. We both genders carry their own. But I'm going to speak from the perspective of men. I don't know if you are aware of that woman, rest her soul, I don't know her name. She went undercover as a man. And
Okay.
she wanted to find out what it was like to be a
To
man.
be a man.
She did it. I don't know what it was, like 6 months to a year. And she found the horrifying ordeal she faced. And she realized men were not respected. If memory serves me right, I believe she committed suicide.
Oh.
I want to touch this. The suicidal rate in men is so high because a lot of us have not been talking. Listen, men out there, whatever you're dealing with, anybody, male, female, please talk. I covered for a gig for a person I know. I didn't know I was covering for a dead man. He kissed his wife goodbye. He went into their basement and hung himself.
Jeez.
And not knowing, his wife didn't know where he was. We called her while we were on the gig because it's his band.
Yeah.
And no one could find him. We were speaking to his wife. We're like, where is he? Well, you're lying. She was like, no. He just said goodbye and that was it. The Monday morning, we got called that the man was no longer with us. That
Oh,
he went into his
my.
basement, hung himself. He was one of triplets. His brother had left to Spain. He didn't talk.
Oh.
And when he decided to look for help, it was at the 11th hour.
Too late.
So it was too late. I walked in on a friend of mine during my uni days while she was in the process of committing suicide.
Oh my.
And she was always the life and soul of the party. We lost one of our coaches. He committed suicide. Listen, please talk.
The key word is talk. Whatsoever you're going through, whatsoever is happening to you, yes, everybody's going through something. Please try as much as possible to find somebody that you're most comfortable with and talk to them, because letting out that volcano is going to save you so much fire deep inside your heart. Otherwise, keeping it to yourself, you will explode, and when that explosion happens, it could take your life, whether in the position of like committing suicide in any format. I've seen people who do weird things while not taking their life necessarily, but causing harm to others simply because they are traumatized. So there's so much happening, while for you who is living with someone who is broken, try to fix them, help them fix themselves. So many things happening. It is always so bad when the results come out so bad like that. Otherwise, I want us to break a little bit. There's still so much to talk about right here, because we are dealing with those don'ts that you should avoid as much as possible in your relationships to keep it more thriving, healthy, flourishing, and all that, with the fruits also coming up. Otherwise, let's go to the kitchen a little bit right here at Starlight Coffee Lounge and Apartments, and you see the process of this drink, what it is, how you can order for it. Max and the chef are right there doing something. Take a look.
So basically what you are seeing is called an iced lemon tea. It contains of fresh lemon juice. It has some honey for those who don't take sugar. We mix some good honey. Then we mix some lemon slices like you can see, and we put some ice cubes there to make it a really refreshing drink. So anytime you feel like taking it, you can take anytime. It has no limitation, just for your own refreshment. It is good for your health. Like lemon is very good for your health. So feel free to take anytime. You can order with us at any particular time. It is going for only 15,000 shillings.
Would you catch a falling star or a falling clover? Catch a falling star or a falling clover. Would you catch a falling star or a falling clover? Catch a falling star, star, star. Catch, would you catch a falling star? Catch, would you catch a falling clover? Falling clover. Catch, would you catch a falling star? Catch a falling star, star, star. Question is, would you take a chance on love? Yes, I'll take the chance. Said I will. Surely take the chance for love. I'll do it. Yes, I'll take the chance. I will take the chance for a romance. I'll be denied the chance for a ribbon in the sky for love. There in the sky is for love. Would you catch a falling star or a falling clover? Oh, no, don't miss out on a good thing. Catch a falling star, star, star.
Would you catch your falling star, ladies and gentlemen? Here we are. Such an amazing gem right there. Falling star. The idea, who writes the song, who gets the first hint of the idea, and what's the message?
Yeah, so Catch a Falling Star really is about not missing out on the opportunity of love, because we nearly missed each other. I was coming out of a toxic relationship, so I was just in a different place emotionally, and you were, where were you?
I was looking for where I could find myself. Oh my. But thank God I came back.
Right there. And you met, oh my goodness. Let me tell you something I've learned from their story is that there is somebody for everybody. So you could actually just be missing each other in the same hood, in the same area, but at least create the chances. Never give up. Gio almost gave up, but good enough. he picked himself back up, and that's how he managed to meet the love of his life. So you, as is somewhere, please keep looking. Don't think you're going to go single forever. All right, we're still proceeding with the show, and we're talking about things that you should never do, or things you should avoid as much as possible to keep your relationship so good for each other. So this time, let's get back to Jackie.
Okay.
So you can tell us your particular dawn, maybe from a woman's point of view, a lady's point of view.
One of the key things in marriage is the one word that I would say describes marriage is patience. Remember, you're coming from two different backgrounds. So, you know, when the Bible say two become one, that's a journey. It's a journey because you're growing together, you're learning each other, you know, you have different mindsets. And remember, you know, you have to talk to each other and understand each other. That's another big one, understanding, you know. So when you listen to each other with a view to understand each other, you know, you grow, basically. That's what happens.
I don't like problem. In my country, we say wahala. Wahala is problem. I hate wahala. Wahala no day this one. So, what tends to happen is people rush into marriages. When they rush in, then they blame it that, whoa, I went God's way, right? Did you? What if God was saying to you, wait, I have a homeboy, yeah?
Okay.
We used to hang out, we used to hang tight. And when I met him, he was engaged to get married.
Okay.
They'd done their traditional, everything, they were set. Apparently, like, I don't know, a couple of months later, I never saw him in the picture. So, and I didn't ask him.
Okay.
It was when we were about to tie the knot. He asked me the question, Gio, are you sure? I heard about a man that was at the altar with the woman he was taking as his bride, and it hit him that the real woman that should have been his bride was right there in the audience.
In the audience.
Sitting.
And that's going to be crazy around here. So I'll be like, you're insane. What's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
but how would you know if you ain't listening? A lot of times the king is speaking to us, but we're not
We're
paying
not
attention.
listening. The signs are there everywhere.
Yeah.
We're not seeing.
Yeah,
We're on our phones.
yeah, those signs.
Yes, you realize that most of the things, the don'ts that Gio and Jackie are talking about are not the obvious, but there are those that are the obvious. Feel free to hint on them. Text us right now on the number that you're seeing on the screen right there. Share with me what some of those don'ts are. If I can't read them right now, I'll read them next Saturday to everybody that is out there so they get to know what they shouldn't do. Probably it is from your own experience. You did it before and things didn't work out well. So let's get to, you know, save someone's relationship right now. Save somebody right now. Just drop that message. We appreciate feedback. Otherwise, still with Jackie and Gio. One more idea right now before we go for our next break.
Yeah, so one other thing I would say is don't talk down to each other. You know, create an environment of respect. You know, create an environment that builds each other up, that lifts each other, because what you have is each other at the end of the day. So create that environment where you're happy to come home to each other. You know, not whereby, oh no, what's she gonna say to me this time, or what's he gonna say to me this time? Is he gonna bring me down? You know, have that respect for each other and build each other up.
Okay.
I feel I'm going to bounce off Jackie's one of her responses, which is literally to give leeway, support each other's differences, and be patient. Patience is the key, you know, because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect.
True.
At the end of the day, if you want to criticize your partner, look at yourself. Because for that finger you're pointing at them, you got three pointing right back at you. These three, they're pointing right back at you.
True.
Take a look at yourself. Work on yourself before you start criticizing. And chances are, if you feel you're that perfect, chances are you're not. You're lying to yourself.
They say if you're laughing at the mistakes of your spouse, well, you are one of them. Yeah, probably you're one of them, because if you think they're making so many mistakes, probably they made a mistake choosing you as well. Okay, in the interest of time, we're going to break a little bit. When we come back, Jackie and Joe will be giving us their take homes or messages that are really so specific, not only according to the topic, but something generally as far as relationships are concerned. Today, I've decided to swing you back and forth. We're taking you back to the kitchen this time around to check out our special menu of the day so you can see the preparation process and the end result and see that yumminess right there. Please don't forget to make your orders as much as possible. It's a weekend, Saturday. Get crunching on something very, very different from what you usually have in your kitchen.
Just a beef pizza. For me, I always use fresh dough simply because that is the best, because I always want to give the best.
Alright, we appreciate the fact that you've been on the show right from the beginning. For you who has just joined us right now, we feel so bad, but not so bad though, because you can still go to the YouTube and look for MC Sugar on YouTube. You'll be in position to find this entire show. Watch it. Drop a comment, we appreciate. But otherwise, right now, we are going to wind up on a show, but don't touch your remote because this is the most important. I call it the climax, where we're getting a take home from Jackie and Gio.
So take home, what I would say is don't forget to date each other, as in continue to date each other. You know, even as the years are going by, have that date night. You see what I mean? Even as the children come in, even as you get more responsibilities, because life is about responsibilities, right? But don't forget each other.
This is a take home for every single person. I'll start from the relationship aspect. Celebrate each other. Value each other. The number one reason why relationships end, and when I say relationships, whether it's business relationships, work, whatever it is, you know, love relationships, family relationships, the reason why they always come to an end when people feel undervalued. When people feel they're not being valued anymore, that's when they break ties and walk away. There's a saying I live by from the time I heard it. It says, when love is no longer served at the dinner table, it's time to bounce. That's my belief. And lastly, celebrate yourself. Listen, you have one life. You have yourself that you live with every day. If you're going through trauma, if you've been through all kinds of trauma, you've got baggages, time to heal, number one. So you can truly celebrate who you are. Celebrate your wins, celebrate your life.
Yeah, so our social media handles are Official Team O Music everywhere, on Instagram, on YouTube, Twitter. You will catch us, Official Team O Music. And let's connect. We'll see you there.
Be sure to check out our new project, our current single out, which is Eve Before the Fall, Jackie Onai featuring myself. And then we have a compilation coming out at the end of the year. It's called Infinity 7 Music, which is our label, presents Love, Life, Music. There's gems for you out there. It's ear candy. You will love it.
I believe I don't even have to say anything extra because they have said it all. Otherwise, this is how far we want to come. If you missed the show, you just joined us right now. It's not too bad. Go to our YouTube channel, MC Sugar. You can also look out for their YouTube channel as well. We are going to have the show the other side as well. So please check us all around and follow me on all my socials as well as MC Sugar. This time around it is SHUGGA. That's my name right there. Check me out. Let's get to connect just like Jackie said. And it is the #1 station.